Welcome to the start of a new series right here on D&D, because why not? This is Eldritch Encounters, where we'll be playing Call of Cthulhu 7e. To start, let's go ahead and introduce all the players. So we'll just go around the table. Rob.
Yeah, so Robert Wronski is the son of two Polish immigrants, so he's a first-generation American. He's sorry, that's my kids in the background. He's a taxi driver by day, but kind of secretly he does like side jobs for the mafia sometimes, doing like wheelman work. He doesn't ever get his hands dirty; he just drives the car. He really respects his parents' work ethic, and so like he's kind of taken upon himself to like follow through with everything that he takes on. Probably his cab is his most prized possession, besides just like the connections that he makes with some of his fares. Last thing I'll say about him is that he goes by Rob with his fares, but he goes by Rob Ron with his friends.
Okay, cool. Elizabeth, go ahead and introduce yourself and your character.
Elizabeth is a young woman she's an immigrant from Great Britain. She's only been in the United States for the last couple of years. She's working as a nurse and living in a boarding house. Most of the time she works long hours at the hospital, and for her free time she goes to speakeasies.
Nice. Chipper, go ahead and tell us about yourself.
I'm playing Jack Chipper Williams Jr. I'm 29-ish. So when I was 15, 16, joined the circus to get out of a bad situation with my parents. When the circus was in Nebraska, where I was from. Traveled around with them about almost 10 years. Built a pretty strong act as a strongman, pretty popular in the area. Met great people, got really close to a lot of people, fell in love, fell out of love. Decided to leave, traveled to Europe, met my current wife, Vani. She got a job at the Miskatonic University as a botanist, so we moved back to Arkham. I'm currently semi-retired strongman. Sometimes I hang out with Rob Ron and just shoot the shit. He hears me bitch about my life and my kid and all of that stuff.
Okay, cool. Ida, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay. Her name is Ida. Adela Blossom. But she goes by Ida. She works as a psycho or paranormal psychologist, and she was raised in like South Arkham, I guess you could say it. And she moved to Arkham, like main Arkham, from like the age of 18 or 17, I mean, after being exiled from her family for a ability that she's not controlling.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Henry, back to you. You have anything?
Alright, so my character is Henry. He's a soldier in his mid-40s. He recently woke up from a coma. Doesn't really remember much other than who he is. That's about it.
Okay, cool. So the story will begin with Chipper.
Oh, okay.
Chipper, you have been called by the circus that you used to work for by a very close friend.
All right. Oh, do you want me to answer the phone? I'm sorry.
Yes.
All right, so this is like days before I assume. So answer the phone. Yeah, hello. This is Chipper. May I ask who's calling?
And on the other end of the line, you hear, this is Sarah.
Oh, I immediately perk up like a dog. Oh, hey, how are your letters? Well, first off, good to hear from. Miss you. What's up? Is everything all right?
And she says, oh yes, everything's fine. Just still traveling with the circus. We're coming to Arkham here in the next day or two. Did you know that?
Well, I heard little birdies speaking about in town.
And she says,
Didn't really know.
Go ahead.
Go on. No, I was saying, I was gonna probably show up with the wife and kid, but why?
And she says, well, I pitched it to Bill Darby to maybe have you come back and showcase for a few nights. Just, something light, just, as a general attraction. Could probably help our ticket sales. You're a local legend around here.
You're not wrong, I am. I need to clear it with Lonnie and everything, but I can do that. Tell Bill to give me a call. We'll set everything right. I'll come up and see you guys, and we'll play it by ear.
And she says, yeah, we should be in Arkham by probably tomorrow. We'll be setting up at the fairgrounds, so usual place, but come down and talk to Bill.
Will do.
She says, well, it was good talking to you. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Yeah, same. Sarah, before you go, I just want to say I appreciate everything you've done for me.
And she says likewise.
I hang up my phone.
Okay.
Question.
Yeah.
This is stupid. Did my wife or my kids here, or either one of them in the area? This is silly, but I apologize.
Roll a spot hidden.
All right. Sorry, I'm making a lot of nothing here.
First roll of the game, you guys.
Hey,
I know, right?
make it a good one.
Hey, no pressure, right? Spot hidden, not bad.
Oh yeah, hard success.
Oh shit.
So you saw your kid kind of run down the hallway from the kitchen back into their room, but they were, there and gone so fast. There's no worry about them hearing anything.
All right. Okay. Good. All right.
Your wife sounds like maybe she's in the kitchen, getting dinner ready.
All right. I'll talk to her about it later.
Okay. So, cutting over, Henry, you find yourself in your psychiatrist's office. Ever since you came back from the war, you've had a few problems sleeping, night terrors, kind of waking up in a cold sweat at times, and you've been issued and somewhat pressured to go see a psychiatrist and see if you can get some of these things off your chest and try to find some help. And you find yourself in her office right now. It's kind of a dark office. The blinds are kind of pulled closed. There's an old red colored couch that you're sitting on, and she's behind a wooden desk taking notes, just kind of observing you at the moment. And she says, so how have you been sleeping lately?
Not so good. I wake up constantly throughout the night.
And she says, the medicine I prescribed you, has it been helping at all?
A little.
I may need to increase your dosage a little bit then. What about the night terrors?
They're the same.
Still the blood-soaked battlefield and your friends dying around you?
Yeah.
She says, well, the dreams, I don't know really what I can do besides talk to you about them. These might be maybe suppressed feelings you have that you need to work out yourself somehow. The medicine's merely to help you sleep and hopefully get you back on track. That's our foremost concern here, is your well-being.
All right, thank you.
What kind of condition would you say you're in? Like, would you say that you're kind of like manic seeming, like, you know, like chain smoking, like bags under the eyes, or are you, like, for the most part, like pretty like healthy looking?
I'd say I'm pretty healthy looking, like just no like darting eyes or like panic or anything like that.
Okay. And you see her writing on a piece of paper and kind of tears it off from the pad and says, give this to the receptionist out front. She'll give you a increased strength medicine for your next round.
All right, thank you.
And she says, I think mostly you just need to relax and come to terms with what happened and what you saw. Why not go to a park? Or I hear the circus is in town or coming soon. You could try that out. That might relax you.
Yeah, the circus sounds nice.
And she says, anyway, though, I will see you next week, same time. And hands you the piece of paper and kind of opens the door for you.
All right, thank you, doctor.
And she says, no problem. Be safe, stay strong. And closes the door behind you.
All right.
Rob, we go to you as you're driving your cab.
Okay.
You just dropped off one patron, and you're driving around looking for more people. And you see a woman on the side of the street coming up as you drive by, and she's waiting for a cab. She flags you down as you go to drive by her.
Yeah, so I definitely pull over, and I've got my windows down most of the time, and like, where to, miss?
And you see Elizabeth Gray standing at the street.
How much for that to take me to the hospital?
And I quote her some time-relevant price.
Okay, we'll say like 5 cents.
I get on the back, hand 5 cents.
Okay. Yeah, and you begin driving your cab towards the hospital.
I think I might try to make conversation like, hey, so how about the weather today? How is it? Like, what's the weather like today? I want to talk about it.
The weather today, I would say it's a little overcast. There is some sun, like behind there, like rays kind of come out every so often. But for the most part, it's like overcast. Not really looking like it's gonna rain, but just a pretty cloudy day. It's a bit windy too.
So I would just comment on that. I'd be like, yeah, so what do you think about today? It's pretty dreary, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just gonna say.
Yeah, it always gets me feeling down.
It is Massachusetts after all.
Honestly, if it rains, I'd be happy. Makes the air
Oh, yeah.
smell nice.
Go on, you were saying.
Sorry, what?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I always enjoy the rain too, although the darkness kind of brings me down.
See, I don't really agree. I think it's nice because you don't have to see the blaring sun all the time.
That's what I like about these that's what I like about these fairs. You always get a different perspective when you talk to people.
And on the windshield, you see like a single lone, like kind of small raindrop. Like, not even, really about to break out raining, but just like a few single little drops, and then it's over as soon as you like drive, from under this cloud.
And I might say something like, you see, you talk about the rain, you get a little bit of rain. Maybe we talk about it more, we'll get a little bit more.
Will be good for the crops for sure.
And then I'll just like kind of chuckle under my breath and keep driving to my destination.
Okay. Yeah, and you make it to the hospital.
Then I thank the man and go about my business.
All right, hey, yeah, maybe I'll see you around town. It was a real pleasure driving you today.
Yeah, thanks for the ride.
And I take off in search of another ferry.
Okay, cool. So Elizabeth, you are now at the hospital. What are you doing?
I'm just gonna clock in and work my shift.
Okay. So yeah, you go and clock in, and you see some of the other nurses are kind of huddled at the nurses' station, and it doesn't look like super busy right now. There's no like critical stuff going on. It's a very quiet night at the hospital, and there's a group of ladies over by the desk, and you see one kind of showing the other something, and they're all looking at it, and you see them kind of laughing and kind of busting up a little bit. And one looks over at you and says, "Elizabeth, Lizzie, you have to see this. Come here."
I walk over. What's going on?
And it is a newspaper ad for the circus coming to town, but it's almost like a flip book. And she says, "Watch this," and starts flipping the pages, and it is a clown juggling, and each page is like a different like animation for the juggling part until it gets to the very end, and then it's like a big, almost like pop out kind of "come to the circus" ad.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
What's that?
What was the last thing you said?
Oh, it you like flip through the pages, and it's like it animates a clown like juggling, and then it gets to the very end of the page, and it's like a big like animation that covers like both pages, and it's like a big ad for the circus and has like a coupon for it. And she says, "What will they think of next?"
I don't know, but that's pretty creative.
She says, "Genius marketing if I ever knew it. Not that I'm an expert or anything."
I don't know. Were you wanting to go to that?
And she says, "I don't know. Me and the hubby might go."
Seems a bit pricey.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
There's a coupon right there. You see that?
And she says, "Oh, I did see that." And she says, I got it in the newspaper. If if you stop on your way home, you could probably get one too."
I'll have to look into that.
And then around that time, one of the doctors comes out and kind of claps his hands and says, ladies, come on, back to work. There are patients here that need healing. Go, go, go." And kind of breaks up the little group.
I run off to my first patient and do my normal rounds.
Okay. And then jumping over to Ida. You are at your office, as you are a parapsychologist.
Mm-hmm.
You are sitting at your desk, and your boss comes out, Norman Topman. And he comes out and says, I've been getting quite a few strange calls recently. Mostly from the Bolton and Ipswich area. It was very odd.
Oh?
And he says, yes, apparently, the circus has gone through there. And people have talked about kidnappings and people missing and ending up being found on the docks near the ocean, and it's all quite very odd.
That's
Seems
concerning.
seems to be following the circus. I'm curious to know what might be going on with that. So we're going to assign you to the circus to go and see what might be causing all this. There has to be something not normal.
Yeah. And I start standing up to get ready to go.
Okay. And Norman pulls out his pocketbook for the company and starts writing out like a check saying, and don't worry about coverage or anything like that. Your whole night will be paid for. And hands you a check for $10.
Oh, well, thank you. As I take the check and just set it on my desk.
Okay, cool.
And I get ready to, I get my stuff ready for my work.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we'll say that your day at work goes by normally. You do your daily routine and clock out at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
The circus is set to come into town that next night, so we can go ahead and skip to that next day if you want, or if there's something you wish to roleplay out, like you going to your apartment after work or stopping by the grocery store.
Probably not. I'm not that great at roleplay.
Okay. So yeah, we'll say that all of you go home after your day at work, go to sleep, wake up the next morning, and we'll go back to Chipper, where you're supposed to meet Mr. Darby from the circus.
Well, so I would probably have Rob drive me there. If that was okay with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I would have him drive me there. I would explain the situation. So I said, you remember my Christmas party? I had invited you to. Do you remember the Asian girl you kept?
And I'll sit there while I'm driving. I'll kind of think and rack my brain, and be like, "Oh yeah, I think I remember that a little bit."
Yeah, she went by the name. She's not. I would stutter like I am now. I say, yeah. However, we talked to you about give me a minute, everybody. I apologize.
We talked about something discreet. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I told you about Lee Yu. Well, that's not her. Yeah. She who is she? I know her for fucking forever. Since I was in the circus. So she called me last night. And yeah, she's in town at the circus, and that's where we're go. I would give him the address. We're meeting with my former boss about setting up some performances, but I'm all nervous about it.
Oh, so you're getting back in the game, huh?
I mean, I'm not really out of the game. It's just hard with Ezra, finding out he existed, and then explaining his wife. She's a professional type, and it looks bad on her. That's a kid out of wedlock. Her and Ezra love each other. And, I mean, they get a little better than I'm trying. I would chuckle. But everything's good, and just can't really afford to go back on the road. But I would say yeah, they offered me a stint. So you can just wait outside while I go talk to them, or you can come in if you want.
And then assuming that we're getting close, or maybe that we're at a stop sign or something, I'll actually put my shoulder over or my elbow over the seat, and I'll look around and be like, "Buddy, you want me to go in with you, or you want me to wait outside?"
I mean, first off, you're basically my assistant. Let's be honest. You eat my dinner. My wife cooks it. I move your mom's vanity. Sweet woman, by the way. She didn't have to tip me. But,
Oh, you know she likes you.
I know, I mean, I'm a hard guy, not. But yeah, I like, you just, say you're my assistant.
All right, yeah, it's a deal. And I find somewhere like discreet to park the cab so it doesn't look like the cab driver is walking in with him.
While we're pulling in, do I see anyone I recognize? Do I Wide John, Black John, or Pearl, or like any circus folk?
Roll a spot hidden.
Where the hell did I come up with the name Wide John? Anyway, hold on.
Okay, so success. Yeah, so I would say that looking around, you do see Pearl.
Just wave. I don't really have time to talk to her, but, I'm assuming she's one of the, I don't know, whatever she does. But, yeah, I just wave. Then we pull in. I'm assuming I see the office, or whatever they're using for an office.
Yes. The office itself is more or less just a smaller circus tent, kind of off to the side. It's not fancy, but...
I would pull Ron aside. Yeah, raise the ears for me while I'm in there.
Yeah, no problem, pal.
See if you can get the vibe of this place. I know Joseph, the former ringmaster, left. I don't know anything about it. So I just want to put on things.
Yeah, I'll be extra attentive.
We're going in.
Okay. So yeah, you go in, and things are still in the middle of being set up. It's close to being ready for showtime, but it's still a bit, it's still a ways off. Looking around, you see that there are a number of clowns, jugglers, stilt walkers, fire breathers, all kind of rehearsing their routines and getting in sync with each other.
I would look at the stilt walker. I say, John, where's my money, asshole? And I just give him a smirk and a wave.
And he'll turn around and do the finger, like the double finger point, like, "Hey, Chipper, what's up? What's up, man?"
Yeah, we'll talk later. Seriously, I want my money though. Come on.
He said, I'm good for it.
Yeah, 6 fucking years. I would mutter, Rob.
And continues walking over to the direction he was, and you hear him kind of shout to a couple of the other clowns, some of the OG clowns, hey, Chipper's over there.
Oh God, Rob, we gotta go.
And that would snap Rob back to attention because meanwhile he's just been awestruck by everything he can see, all this behind the scenes stuff that he can see in the tent. So snaps back to it and starts following Chipper again.
I don't like the clowns. I mean, don't get me wrong, some of those guys are good. Some of them are just freakies. They're creeps.
Cool. And you're heading to the office part?
Yeah. Do I see Sarah, or do I see her waiting for me?
Roll another spot hidden.
Alright. Could I ask Rob for help with?
Yeah, I'm definitely got my eyes and ears open.
All right, just in case. I'm on fire. Let me mark that. Do I mark that success?
Burning up. Yeah, it's a good one.
Okay.
So yeah, looking around, you do see Sarah. She is over near the office area, and you see that she's over there with Bill Darby, 2 other men, and another fellow who's dressed as part of the circus, but you're not quite familiar with. You never met him in your time there.
Alright, I would motion to Sarah to come with me.
Okay.
I would look around. I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
I would, look at Rob to look the other way. I would give her a kiss on the lips, and I would give her a big hug. Lightly hold her hand for a second before I would have her take me to yeah.
Okay, yeah, and she squeezes back and says, "I'm so glad to see you."
Yeah, I know. Yeah, same.
And she begins leading you over towards Bill Darby, the owner of the circus. And you see...
I would not be looking. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I would not be looking Rob in the eyes right now.
Okay.
Am I still following you, or am I waiting for you outside at this
Oh,
point?
you're following us. No matter
Yeah.
what.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm doing my best to look like basically a hired muscle at this point. I'm trying to look tough, although I don't have a very tough demeanor.
Okay. And you see two men in long trench coats and fedoras. Their facial features are very odd-looking, human, but odd. Their eyes seem a little big, their lips seem a little big and like mismatched for their faces. And you see them talking with Bill Darby. Go ahead and roll listen checks, the two of you.
You mean intelligence?
No, listen.
Oh, listen. I thought you said wisdom. I was like, what do you mean wisdom?
No,
Yeah,
no, sorry. Listen. Roll a wisdom check.
I fucking suck. Nope. I ain't for shit.
I'm even
Oh
worse.
shit.
Okay.
Why am I not there? What the fuck?
So you don't really hear what they're saying, but you see one of the men with a very large, like, kind of handful of cash, like, kind of push the money over towards Bill Darby, who, like, pushes it back and kind of waves his hands like no, and you see him, like, point, like, out, like, in a very aggressive sort of manner. And you see them kind of, like, talking to themselves, like, grumbling as they, like, walk out past you.
Do I notice that? I'm assuming I noticed it. But
Yeah,
all right. I just give him.
Yeah, I would say that you, like, noticed all of that, but you didn't hear, like, any specifics of the conversation.
Can I give him an intimidation look while he passes?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Because I don't like anyone treating my friend like that.
Okay.
Holy fuck!
Wowza.
Is that?
What are you doing?
I just look at him. And I smile for a second, and I immediately I just put a foot in for like I frown and just like lean up forward.
And
As
as
I have a good day.
Okay. And as you do, he kind of tries to, like, sidestep away from you and, like, just push past, like, not really trying to give you any mind.
Yeah.
But you do see him, like, look back a couple of times, like, on his way out, just to, like, make sure you're not, following him out or anything.
I'm gonna keep my eyes on him so he knows I'm.
And when he looks back, like the first time he looks back, I want to sneer at him too. Yeah, I don't need to make an intimidate check. I just want to like pretend like I'm helping.
Okay.
Way to go, Rob. Yeah, I give you time.
Yeah, and you see him, like, leave from this backstage, like, office area and, through the main circus tent area and out through the front opening.
While this happens, I let go of Sarah's hand and I say, do you know who that is?
And she says, yes, they're two people from Innsmouth. They've been following the circus around. It's Carter Gilman and Danny Finn. They've been following us around trying to pay us for one of our freak show exhibits.
We're in the freak show business now, and I kind of like frown.
And she kind of nods over to the other carny that you've never really met before and says, that's Lucius O'Din. Bill hired him a couple of years ago to try and boost sales. He's a local freak show owner. Most of his freaks are all hoaxes, though.
Is he the guy? I heard, like you send your letters, I think. He's the guy who took over for Joseph, right?
And she says, yeah, he took over right after Joseph left. And he's been doing a crap job of it, if you ask me. I don't like him one bit. Gives me the creeps.
Is that, you speak for everyone, or is it just you?
Yeah.
I kind of say that where she stands as her. So, like, is that like your opinion, or is that like the group? Because I know that she is the group in a way.
And she says, well, everyone has a similar mind, but most won't really say anything about it for obvious reasons. But I'll tell you one thing,
Run around her.
that the new exhibit that we have that they've been trying to buy from us, it's not fake. That's something real.
What do you mean? I look around, I was like, what do you mean? Right? I mean, like Wendy, the Braider lady's real too. What are you talking about? Like, what do you mean real, Sarah? Come on.
And she says,
I'm real.
And she says, I've said too much. I should let you talk to Bill first.
I just, give her another kiss on the cheek.
Find me later on, though, and we can talk some more.
Hopefully that's not all we do. I just put my hand on her face, and it's like,
And
push her off and say,
she's just kind of like, stop, you're bad, and like kind of like slaps at you, walks away.
Can I get a read on how I feel about what Sarah's telling us, if she's holding anything back or not? I know Chipper has a history with her and an inherent trust, but I've just met this person, so I'd like to kind of see what I'm feeling about her.
Right, so roll a psychology.
oh no, I took everybody's up to
Totally
it.
off
Boy.
the mark. Holy shit.
It's a hard read. It seems like she's being truthful, but it's kind of hard to get a real tell on her.
So when she
Well,
leaves,
I trust Chipper, and I trust Chipper, and I trust Chipper's judgment. So
before she leaves, they say, Vonnie says you can come over for dinner if you want.
And she says, "Are you sure we should do that?"
She knows. I mean, she's your friend. You're at her wedding.
She says,
For her bridesmaid.
and she says, "Well, I'll think about it."
I mean, we're not gonna do anything. We're just eating fucking dinner. I mean, I kind of was like, oh, Bonnie doesn't care as long as it's not in her room. You're her friend.
And she says, "We'll see.
Alright.
Rob is,
Um,
I was gonna say, Rob Ron's like studying the intricacies of the tent fabric at this point. They're just trying to like not pay attention.
right, and it's very finely made. It's double stitched. It's quality.
I would give him a push, like a playful push. Just a look, but not like an aggressive look, but like, I know he heard everything I said. And as a friend, I'm like, don't ask me any questions about that. That whole line of questioning, like, just drop it.
And that silent conversation that we're having is met with a wink from Rob Ron.
All right, I just go and pound the back.
Okay. So yeah, are you going to talk to Bill now?
I say, Bill, come here, buddy. And I shoulder, I was like, grab him, I lift him up, give him a big old hug, because I generally do care about this man. Kind of give him the once over. Don't have to make it, wait, don't have to roll for that, I'm sorry.
And Bill says, Chipper, it's good to see you.
How have you been, man?
I've
So
been
good to see you, buddy.
I'm glad Sarah reached out to you. We could definitely use your help right now.
Something wrong?
He says, well, I don't know. We haven't really been doing so good lately. Sales have been in the toilet.
I mean, in this economy.
Yeah. So.
But it's like you told me, we're recession-proof to a point. But yeah, go on.
He says, but, you are a local legend around here, so I'm hoping, adding you to the routine, it'll be for a few days while we're in town. Then after that, we can just move on. You can go back to your life, but we feel like you might be able to help boost sales.
I mean...
You'll get a cut too, of course.
I mean, of course, I just give him a... I'm gonna get mine, I give him a little... But I'm like, I'm good for it. You need me to go farther. I'd do it for you. I have to clear it with the wife. She probably wouldn't be happy about it, but we're not serious trouble, are we?
And he says, no, It's nothing.
Is he lying to me? Because I'm concerned.
Roll psychology.
Oh, I don't know if I'm good at this. Fuck. Because like I said, I generally do care about these people.
I could also be attentive if this is something that you wanted to like nudge me about or something.
Yeah, can we both do it? Because mine's pretty good. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm pretty good. We can both do it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
You did better, I think.
Okay.
I got a good roll.
So, it's not doing as well as he says it is, but it's not like in danger, you know.
We're not posing anytime soon.
No, sales are down. Like it's not doing like as amazingly as what you would believe just looking at it, but times are tough right now.
Yeah, would I say it's more of a seasonal thing? Like, let's say it's seasonally down, or is it? Sorry, I know I'm over.
So it's one of those things where it's coming towards the end of the season. You know, it's getting to be like autumn, winter's gonna set in here in a while, so.
Alright.
Yeah. In general, things are kind of slowing down a bit.
I would whisper to him. It's like, if you need a loan.
And around that time, you see the other man who hasn't left Darby's side at all say, oh, and who is this, Bill? And kind of looks you like up and down curiously.
I would just smile.
And Bill says, "Oh, this is Chipper. He used to be a main attraction back
I would
in the
extend
day."
my hand.
And Lucius kind of looks down at it first and slowly puts his out and says, "Hi, Lucius O'Den. Nice to meet you." And you see he has like a top hat and a very nice like waxed like curly mustache. Kind of like the Dick Dastardly mustache, you know, like the little, like twizzly waxed stash.
I would give him a nice firm handshake, not like aggressive, like kind of loose handshake, but like it's loose, but he knows that I could crush his hand if I want. Like a overly loose handshake.
Right. And I mean, this guy, is a pussy. So even with that little bit of pressure, he's just kind of like shaking his hand, like, yes, firm handshake. Very nice to meet you.
How rude of me, gentlemen. This is my assistant, Rob. This is the greatest man I ever met. This is Mr. Darby. And this is again, yes, Dim something.
Lucius O'Den.
Yeah, Lucy, yeah.
So Rob Ron's going to extend his hand to what was the first man's name again?
Bill Darby.
Yeah, and he's going to extend his hand to Bill Darby and say, "Mr. Darby, it's a pleasure to meet you." And then he's going to look over at Lucius O'Dim and be like, "Mr. O'Dim." He's just going to nod his head towards him.
Okay. And he doesn't even like return the nod. He just kind of, yes, pleasure to meet you. Around that time, you hear like a commotion coming from behind one of the curtains. There's like a smaller tent attachment, and you hear like a commotion, almost like steel being like banged around and water splashing. And Lucius kind of looks around and says, "If you'll excuse me, I have something to take care of." And
that's not. Sorry, go on.
And walks back towards the closed curtain, and you see he pulls out a wooden stick that's been like shaped to a point at the end, and goes back like behind the curtain and says, "How many times have I told you? Stop causing a ruckus. It's not showtime." And you just hear like a like from the back, just like a pained, almost like sound, almost like screaming.
Can I peer behind the flap?
Sure.
Yeah, so I try to do that. Yeah, I like obviously Chipper and his old boss or his boss are going to see me doing this, but I don't want the guy on the other side. I don't want Lucius to necessarily notice that I'm trying to open the flap.
Okay, so roll a stealth and then a spot hidden.
Could I help him by going to. If you wanted to play, can I help him by going towards Odin and just like trying to give my friend advantage? But like, what's going over here? Nope. Okay.
So yeah, you're not very stealthy, and like as soon as you get to the curtain, kind of peer through, you see Odin like kind of turn around, like, "You get out of here."
My bad, and I.
And you just like briefly get a glimpse of like a clear glass tank, roughly about 8 foot by 8 foot, filled with water, and like a dark shape in the water, and him like prodding at something inside of it with this stick.
I look at Odin and I say, "You don't talk to him. That's my son's godfather. Show some respect."
And he says, "Yes, well, the freak show is off limits to the regular circus people, so..." And you hear him, like, from inside the curtain, like, "Darby, would you take care of your friends, please?"
I would immediately glare at Darby.
And you just see Darby kind of look back and, like, give you, like, the come here kind of look. Or, like, motion. And he
Have
says,
a nice day. Yeah.
And he says, "I'm terribly sorry about him. He's, a bit obsessed with his work, and his social skills leave a bit to be desired."
I thought, Joseph was such a good ringmaster because he was and this guy, no offense, isn't, man. He's a real dick.
And he says, "Yes, we've had other complaints from other performers as well, but there's not a very large market for ringmasters these days, if you can believe it."
I mean, I can. No offense, I know. I kind of like shut up. I was like, I know Joseph was kind of grooming me. I apologize for that, but it's not. I don't know. Anyway, should we go in?
And he says, yes, let's. So what do you say to working with us for the duration while we're here, though? You won't have to worry about Odin and his lot. You'll be in the main circus tent, far away from all that.
I have a general question. Like, look, when I was here a few years ago, everyone kind of got along. You know that. I know you weren't here often. We all, we're a family, no matter what. But apparently the freak show people aren't allowed to talk to us? Like, we're not allowed to, that's not normal, is it? Not from other circles.
And he says, well, they can interact with each other, but Odin just doesn't like when other performers try to tell him how to run his freak show. He is the sole proprietor of it. It's simply an attachment with the circus. He can leave anytime.
Would that hurt our sales?
I'm afraid it would. We need him. Plus, he doubles as the ringmaster as well, so we'd be losing twice there.
Yeah, it is what it is, I guess. And he's not like getting handsy with any of the. He's not one of those guys.
What's that?
He's not getting handsy with any of the girls, right?
No, he doesn't seem to be interested in that at all, to be honest. Ever since he got his new attraction, he's been completely obsessed with it.
Not to be prying, but Sarah told me, people from Innsmouth, what is that? That's in New Orleans, right? Florida? Near Boca?
He says, no, it's right up the coast here in Massachusetts, actually.
Ron, have you ever heard of Innsmouth?
Keeper, would I have heard of Innsmouth? I've been in Arkham my whole life.
Roll a history check. And we'll say, as this conversation is going, the work on the circus continues until it's ready for opening night.
Would I have time to go see Sarah?
Sure, yeah.
I would say, Ron, I need you to do me a favor.
Yeah, what's shoot, pal?
All right, so my wife might be showing. I don't know if she is. She said she might. She might come tomorrow with the kid. I just need you to keep an eye on things. If she can't get the seat, make sure the kid's taken care of. I know you know some. There'll be. You thought the clown swarming me would be one thing. God, this. Everybody fucking loves them here. But look, just make sure that their needs are taken care of. I know she doesn't really like the circus, believe it or not, but she doesn't like. What does she say? She doesn't like the abuse of power and whatever those fancy types.
Yeah, who would?
Just make sure everything's okay, and just make sure she has a good time. Make sure she gets out of here safe.
Anything you need, pal.
Thank you. I'll give him $5.
Okay.
And I'm gonna push it away. I'm gonna push it away and say, I'm not gonna take that.
I know you're not, but look, your family. I'm gonna keep it safe. And I give him the $5. And I say, any profit I make tonight, I'm gonna give you. It's the least I could do for the last things you've been doing for me a few months. You make charge of me for.
I say you're a good friend, Chipper.
I know.
And then are we still in the same room as Darby?
Yes, Darby is there.
Yeah. Darby, can you just...
I just want to ask Darby one question, actually. I'll turn to him and be like, you mentioned that Odim is obsessed with his new display or whatever, but you never mentioned what it was.
And he says, yes, well, I was going to save it to be a surprise, as it is quite the attraction. It has brought in more sales ever since we got it, but I suppose the two of you probably aren't going to be making the freak show if I understood the situation correctly.
I mean, he might. I mean, I have my own show.
And he says, well, it's quite fascinating. It seems to be some kind of a human-fish hybrid. More beast-like than human.
No, you're fucking joshing, right?
Yeah, I think Rob Ron's face would just maybe go flush, the blood would run out of his face as he realized okay, that wasn't an animal that I just saw him poking with that stick.
I thought that was just a bear in a tank up to its.
And he says, no, it's something else entirely. But
Remind me about the bear. Can we look at the thing? Wait, is it? I would kind of look. Sorry, my wife has kind of put academic thoughts in my head. Is that thing a person or is it a creature?
Well, we're not really sure. That's kind of our whole marketing scheme around it, is we don't know what it is. Is it human or is it beast?
I lean into Ron and I say, you keep Ronnie away from it.
Yeah, I got no problem doing that for you, pal. And I'm going to whisper back, that thing in there, it didn't look too happy.
And you hear, more splashing again and, the sound of, Odin, kind of poking at this thing, and you hear, a very sad, almost humming sound, almost musical, and it just sounds very sad and forlorn.
I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight with that in my head.
That's awful. I gotta get going. Look, first off, you wanted me to do the bear thing, right?
And he says, oh, yes, that one was a classic.
Yeah,
You'd be remiss if you didn't do that one.
Yeah, the thing is, I have a bum knee now. I haven't really fully recovered. Now, doctors don't think I'll ever, truly fully recover. But I just need to talk to the trainer. Is this still pork chop, or did pork chop die?
No, it's still pork chop.
Okay, so I know same command words.
Us all.
I know. I swear to God, I was like, this fucking bear came in same day I did. Swear to God, he gets better respect than I did, and almost the amount of those girls. And I just chuckle so and I say, look, is he still good? I mean, he's like pushing 12 now. He's still good?
Yeah, I mean, you can go over to his enclosure and like look at him if you want.
All right. So I will. I don't know. So I would talk to Wyatt John. I know he's a bear person.
Mhm.
I'll want to go over to the command. Actually, Rob.
Yeah, what's up?
Go find Wyatt John. You know him. He's not fat. He's just like thicker. He's like literally wide. He has broad shoulders. He's pale. He should be clean shaven, less than my chin. Tell him you're working for Chipper. Just make sure write down the command phrases. Just in case the bear, goes rogue and I have to like tell him to take a dive. Get the commands for like set, fall. Just in case he outstrengths me.
I pull out a receipt book and start jotting down the commands that he wants me to write. That he wants me to go get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or coward. Make sure you get coward. Coward.
Coward. C-O-W. I'm writing it down.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. The bear's a good worker, so.
Okay.
All right. I got how many hours do I have before?
Before showtime, I would say about 6.
All right, that gives me. I can go about 2 of Sarah, so.
Okay.
I'll see you. I'm gonna go find Sarah. You go do the bear stuff. There's also, I look at him and say, if you want to get your jollies off, man, you go to see Madame Yu. She's Sarah. She's one of Sarah's partners. She'll do anything. Just tell her she'll respect you. She's beautiful as all get out. Just saying. Tell her shipper sent you.
Okay, pal.
Okay. So yeah, we'll say that you go find Sarah, and
Yeah.
And I go looking for White John.
You guys go do your thing.
I just we just worked on our act. Yeah.
Yeah. And while that's going on, we'll hop back to Henry, who is now at home. And it's the next day. You are currently at your home, and just kind of sitting there at the moment, just lost in your thoughts. Kind of bored, kind of feeling like a little bit like out of it again, kind of down. And then the memory like pops back into your head, like, oh, circus. Yeah. Could maybe try that. And then back to just kind of like, what the hell did I see? Like, what the hell is going on? Just jumping back and forth, almost like in a manic kind of way,
All right. So, do I know what time the circus opens?
Yeah, you know that it opens around 6 o'clock in the evening. You did see a newspaper article about it, and it had like the start time for it, and also a flip book that had a coupon in it. Very nicely animated with a juggler, and when you get to the very end, it's like the coupon that takes up like the last 2 pages, like across. And in fact, I would say that all of you probably got one of those in the mail. Like, sometimes you go out to the mail and you get like sales ads and stuff and coupons for different things. Because the circus, like it was saying, isn't really doing so hot right now. So they're trying every avenue they can to like promote and get more people in, and have taken to almost desperate measures in a way. Creative, but out of desperation more than necessity.
Problem with that, I live in a boarding house, so a bunch of other people would get the same mail that I do, so they might get it before I do.
That is true. tell you what. Roll me a D100. We'll say 50 and above. You get the mail.
How about the luck chance?
What's that?
How about just roll a luck chance real quick?
Yeah, that's fine.
There we go.
So yeah, we'll say that you get to the mailbox first and kind of sift through it before everyone else can get the chance to.
Yep, I definitely do that. Grab that token or coupon.
Okay. And similarly to everyone else, it is animated flip book. And, it's fun to like flip through a couple of times. You know, it's almost like a cartoon.
Is Chipper mentioned anywhere in the last 2-page spread where it's like advertising the circus?
He was supposed to be, but to reprint the ad would have costed Mr. Darby more money, and at this point he's kind of pinching all the pennies he can. Instead, there is like a small blurb in the newspaper article itself.
That mentions Chipper. Yeah, so I would have clipped that out and pinned it to my wall more than anything to tease Chipper.
Okay. Yeah, so you do that, like pull out the newspaper clipping, and yeah, so we'll say about now it's getting to be roughly probably like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, about 5:30. So is anybody going to be dressing up, wearing anything particular, fancy, elegant, anything like that?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Besides my uniform, yes.
So, Elizabeth, go ahead and describe your formal wear for the night.
Basically, just a really nice, expensive satin dress. It's very flowy. Got nice clubs to go with it. Got my hair all done up. I'm vibing with a nice, vivid purple.
Nice.
For the most part.
Like Crown Royal purple, almost.
Yeah.
Nice. Is anybody else wearing anything fancy?
I'll probably just be wearing my normal clothes because I'll be coming from work.
Right. You're there kind of more on business and less like recreational time.
Yeah.
So I got my gear on, the pants, the shirtless. I might have like a strap on one arm. My pants are newly sewn by my wife. Already has Chipper on them. All like browns and golds. Mm-hmm. I'm ready.
Rob Ron is in his classic getup, which is like a gray tweed slacks, gray tweed vest, just like a regular white Oxford button-up shirt, with the top button unbuttoned. He never wears a tie. Doesn't wear a hat either. He's got kind of curly, tousled hair, and he's got a handlebar mustache. And that's kind of how he always goes. He's always got nice dress shoes on too. He always rocks the same look, and that's how he's going to be going to the circus tonight.
Okay, nice.
So, what was the prank that you did to me?
I didn't really prank you. I took the clipping of the newspaper that mentioned you in the article, and I just hung it up, like more of like as a way to like kind of tease you, like, oh, there's my buddy, my famous friend is in the circus.
Okay, so it's more for you. Okay, so I haven't seen it yet. That's good.
I thought he said you like put it up like on posts, like light posts.
Oh no, I totally intended to say that I was putting it up like just like on like my wall, but if it's funnier, we can put it up on a light post.
If I saw that, I would just smirk, and when I'm coming out to go talk to the bear, I would find Madame Yun, who is like, I forget, an acrobat or something, and I would tell her to talk to Rob Ron.
Okay.
As a little, you know, encouragement for, because I know that she's good people. I mean, she's like a close friend of mine. Of course, she'll she'll, will show Rob a good time. Which is
Okay.
but what I would actually, after I'd done that, I would find Rob and kind of avoid her. I would kind of go to the bear, and I would look at Wide John. I would like catch up with him, and I would just like greet Pork Chop with a big hug, and he would probably hug me because we know each other.
Yeah, and he's a
And I would
big
just
old
start
bear.
praying.
Like you can see
Oh
that.
God.
You can see he's starting to get like a bit gray, a bit grizzled looking. You know, he's starting to get old.
He's like a fine wine.
Yeah.
This bear. I look at Rob like, this bear.
Yeah, still
The most
healthy.
best
You know.
behaving bear.
Yeah.
He's never done. He's such a good bear. Like he always listens. Like he's so selfless. I'm talking to him like he's a real person, but he's such a selfless performer. I mean, never had a crack the whip against him. He's such a reliable guy, more so than anyone. I put him in a headlock and see if he like work with me.
So it would be a black bear, right?
Would it be a black bear?
Because those are the smaller ones. So they...
I guess it would depend because, like, what did you have in mind, Josh? Because
Black bear, or smaller. If we're going older, I'll go black bear.
okay, because black bears are known to be like smaller, but they're kind of more excitable. And,
Oh, now I'll go brown then.
and brown bears, like those are kind of more or less the ones you see trained more often than not for like movies
Oh,
and stuff.
Okay.
what bear was Kuma in Tekken? Not yeah, the trainable kind.
That was probably like a brown bear, a grizzly bear.
Yeah, then a brown bear.
Okay.
Okay.
I would put him in a headlock. Just
Mhm.
play with him a little bit. Rub his belly.
Right.
Okay.
He's 12
Yeah.
years old? Because they live to be like 20 to 30.
Yep.
Yeah, and if he's about 12 now, he's a little
Starting to
over,
get-
like,
starting to get
like,
a little bit.
yeah, a little over
middle-aged.
middle-aged. So
Yeah.
he's still healthy looking. You can just tell he's starting to get a bit older. Like there's a little gray on his muzzle. But besides that,
Just trying to get a good picture.
yeah. But besides
Can
that,
I,
he still looks.
Can I check his nails? Are his nails filed? Like,
Yeah. Go ahead and roll spot hidden. I mean,
Alright, Rob,
I
you might
guess
help
it's
me
not.
with this?
I guess it's not really something that'd be hidden, but I guess to notice it.
Yeah. Okay, no way. No, I'm too. I'm covering with him too much. Rob,
You guys-
help.
Little
I love
pushback
this
roll?
bear.
But yeah, it's hard to tell. He usually doesn't use his claws if he has them. It's never been an issue before.
I swear. So about 10. Oh God, it was like 7 years ago now. We were in Chicago before I left. It was me, Wide John, my ex at the time, and Sarah. We were all like hanging out. And I swear to God, we were all hanging out with this little lovable bear here. All of a sudden, I swear to God, Capone shows up. Al fucking Capone shows up at like showtime he starts talking to me. And he's like, just give him a fucking story. Bullshitting with Rob about Al Capone and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, we'll say that the rest of you eventually get ready and begin making your way to the circus as well. And once you get there, the line to get in isn't like very long, but it's moderately long. Elizabeth, you look around and see Henry. Not that you would like know him, but you see like his character just kind of standing in line randomly. Idella is somewhere in line as well. And after you get to the ticket taker, you present the coupon and then pay the 10 cents to get in. And as you walk in, you are greeted by a large midway. The ground is covered in straw, and there's like the old hammer game where you hit the hammer and try to ring the bell at the top. There's things like that. there's a place with kind of a larger guy that does like arm wrestling kind of stuff. There are different games. There's the water game where you race the horse across like by spraying the water in the hole. There's a ring toss. There's all kinds of different carnival midway sort of attractions. Looking around, you see that there is a smaller tent attached to the large main tent, and outside there's a sign that is lit up with small light bulbs. There's white lettering on a black painted piece of wood, and it says Freak Show across it. And there's very large, like, stylized arrows pointing at the door to the tent. The line for that is actually quite long to get into it.
I'm gonna look to see if I see anybody that I know here.
Okay, roll a spot hit.
Spot hidden. Something I'm not good at.
Okay. Looking around, you see that the crowd is very large, and it's hard to make out really anybody specific at the moment. This is kind of the first little entryway, so there's excited people everywhere, and the crowd is just moving constantly.
Can I push that roll by just asking some attractive guys for some help?
Sure.
Alright. How do I push that? I roll 20.
And as you ask that, one of the guys is like, "Oh yeah, sure thing."
I know, how do I push the roll?
You just roll twice. Let's roll again.
There we go.
Ooh, mark that down.
Wowza.
Nice. Okay. Extreme success.
Don't forget to mark that down.
Yeah.
So looking around, you see Shirley, one of the ladies from your office, walking with her husband and 2 kids, and the 2 kids have like cotton candy and a couple of balloons, and you just see them kind of looking around and pointing at all the different attractions.
Okay. I go over and say hey.
Yeah. You walk over, and Shirley kind of stops and says, "Oh, Elizabeth, you made it."
Yep. Figured I'd see what's all the buzz.
And she says, "Isn't it exciting?"
Yeah. It's a real nice place.
And
What's this freak show all about?
And she says, "Oh,
Been there?
we just came from there. It is bizarre in there. There's so many different things."
Is it worth the wait?
Oh,
The line's
absolutely.
pretty long.
She says, "Oh, absolutely worth the wait. There was this one thing in there. Oh, I couldn't tell if it was a human or a fish or what it was. It was rather scary."
Really?
Yeah.
Scary. That's something.
And she kind of looks at her 2 kids and said, "Yeah, I had to tell the 2 little ones to turn away."
Oh, jeez. I
And-
have to see this.
And the husband just kind of mumbles like, "Oh, I thought it was actually kind of cool."
Of course you did. Well, I'll leave you guys to it.
And she says, "Have fun. Enjoy yourself."
I will. You too.
And they begin kind of walking down the midway.
Yeah, just go into the back of the line for the freak show.
Okay. Jeff and Henry, and Idella, what are you guys doing? We'll say that you got into the circus as well. 10 cents to get in, and you're now at the midway as well. You see a similar setup. Midway attractions, there's jugglers, there's the freak show tent.
I'd probably go get in line for the freak show.
Okay.
I'll most likely be taking pictures, but in line for the freak show.
Okay. Yeah, and as you do, you can hear, like, over in the main tent, like the bellowing, like the trumpeting of an elephant, and like the a couple of the jugglers kind of doing a routine with it, where one like kind of jumps up on its back, and one of the acrobats kind of swings over and picks him up off the elephant's back, and he does a flip into a net, and it's all very theatrical and dramatic. There's music playing, and people are loving it. You hear like uproars from the crowd inside. As you wait in line for the freak show, the line is very long, and people hearing all this other commotion begin to sort of lose interest in waiting, and a good number of them kind of leave the line and go back over into the main circus enclosure. And I would say the line dies by about half from the people that leave, and I would say that Idella, Elizabeth, and Henry are all kind of in the same general area in line now after everyone's left. And you start to walk into the tent, and you see a man with a large top hat, waxed back hair kind of in like the side part, a very long, curled at the ends mustache, clean shaven beyond that. He's in a very long tailcoat sort of suit with a vibrant red cummerbund, almost like vest underneath that. And as you walk in, you see him take note of everyone, say, "Welcome, welcome all, welcome to the freak show. You'll find nothing but the worst, nothing but the most animalistic beasts." And he has like a very long stick and points to a large cage that's covered in a drop rag, and he pulls the rag off, and he says, "For your viewing pleasure, the Wolfman." And you see that there's a man in there who is very, very hairy. It goes far beyond just like a long hair and beard. There's hair like under his eyes. There's hair like on his neck. There's hair all the way down to his wrists, just below like where his hands are. And it's very, very thick. And he resembles a werewolf that you've seen in like movies. And he begins kind of like charging at the bars and kind of rocks back and forth, like making a very big act to try to break out of the cage and attack all of you. And Odin just kind of says, "Oh, you better stand back. You see the red line there? He can't get you if you're behind that."
Cautiously steps up to the red line.
And yeah, the clawed hands of the Wolfman kind of just, narrowly are not that close to you. They just fall short, roughly about 2 inches or so.
Take the picture.
And he's making like a very like overly expressive, like snarling kind of face, and you can see that the teeth that are protruding out of his lower jaw, one of them like kind of falls off to the side from where it's been glued on, and like the glue's starting to wear off from the saliva. And you see him like kind of catch and like and like put it back in. And Odin's just like, yes, well, the Wolfman, and like recovers the thing. Moving on, you see, and now, prepare your eyes for the living skeleton, Jolly Roger, and like pulls off the drop cloth on the next cage, and you see a very, very thin man. You can see every rib bone. You can see every vertebrae in his back as he turns around. The shape of his bones, and like he looks like a skeleton covered in skin, and he's very old. Like this guy's like in his 90s, and he just looks like he's gonna keel over like any second.
Tasty.
And he's just sitting in like a rocking chair. He's not even standing, and barely paying attention.
Are you sure he's living?
And Odin says, "Oh, he's living. Why don't you put on a little bit more of an act there, Roger?" And he says, "Oh, I was cursed years ago by a witch, and now I must live as this skeleton." How's that? And then just goes back to like reading a book, just sitting there in his rocking chair. And,
What book is it, if I could ask? 'Cause I know I'm not there, but I'm just wondering what book is it.
roll a spot hidden.
I'm not there.
Oh. Would somebody like to roll a spot hidden so that Josh can get the answer to that?
I'm sorry. I should have
Why
interrupted.
not? Yeah.
Ironically enough, it is Treasure Island.
Go figure.
And Odin kind of looks at Roger and says, "Yeah, thanks," and throws the drop cloth back over the enclosure. And he goes over to like the next couple and says, "You know what? Let's just get to the main attraction, the thing I know all of you are here to see." And like from behind some of the cloths, you just hear like, "He's doing it again. He's doing it again. He's going straight to the fish boy because it's the bigger draw. We don't even get our time. What are we getting paid for?" And Odin's just like, "Shut up, all of you. You still get paid no matter what." And he says, "Now, if you please, make your way over here." And he's standing in front of a much larger, like, covered enclosure. And says, "This was found off the coast of Innsmouth. Nobody knows what it is. Is it man? Is it beast? I present to you, the fish boy." And, like, pulls off the cloth, and you see, like, inside is, like, a legit fishman human hybrid. There are gills coming off of its neck. It doesn't have scales, but it almost has like overlapping plates, and it's a very dark green, almost grayish color. The eyes are very large, with it's almost all pupil. There's no white to the eyes. It's all just darkness, and you can see that there is a smaller pupil inside, but it is currently dilated. It has somewhat sharp teeth, but they're not all grown in. And looking at this creature, it doesn't seem very large. It seems rather small. And
the size of a man, right?
no, this is smaller than like a normal human. If I had to put it to like a specific age, like this thing is about the size of maybe a 9-year-old child.
Oh god.
And all of its features look infantile in some ways still. The eyes look like they're still kind of growing into the head. You know, they don't look like they're proportionally correct yet. Even the teeth seem very small and thin and almost like baby teeth you would see on a human child. And currently it is just floating in the tank with its back to the crowd, and it is in the corner of its tank just kind of floating in the water, unmoving and kind of hunched over. And Odin, you know, expecting this huge, like, you know, show and shock and awe from the fish boy, and just getting this, seems very disappointed and reaches in with the long stick he has and starts poking and prodding around and says, "Come on, these people paid to see you. Get going." Like poking and prodding, and you see it like kind of like trying to slap the stick away and just like tightening up even more, like in the corner.
I don't know what to do here.
And you see Odin like pull out the stick and cover the tank again and say, "All right, show's over. We'll issue a refund on the way out." And you see him like kind of kick the tank as you begin walking out, and you hear like a very distressed and lonely like coming from the covered tank.
I'm just gonna look towards Ida and Henry, not knowing their names, just idle chatter as we're walking out. It's like, could you tell? Was that a fish or a kid?
I don't know. I couldn't tell.
I don't know what to stop him from poking it, because
And currently, like, on your way out of the tent, you do hear that there's, like, a ruckus, like, a very loud kind of performance going on in the main tent, the main circus tent right now.
Back in there then.
And as you walk into the tent, you see currently there are giraffes, zebra, and tamed lions that are all kind of walking out after completing like a routine and a show, and everyone's just going crazy. And Bill Darby goes to the back where Chipper is and say, "Chipper, you feeling good? You feeling ready?"
I'm just chilling. Can we say that is Rob still allowed to be back here? I'm assuming I give him permission to be back here.
So far, Rob has been back here for like most of the day, and nobody's like said anything beyond like Odin, but he doesn't really have any authority at the circus.
Rob, can you go see if Vonnie's here? Go give her the heads up. Go tell Ezra, his dad's out.
Tell him what?
No, just go tell him to get ready. I'm sure enough. I don't know where they're at. I told Darby to put him somewhere nice. So hopefully, let's keep her company.
Okay. We'll do, pal. And then I go out looking for Vonnie and Ezra so I can go kind of take a seat by them.
Okay. Roll a spot hidden for me.
When it says number of rolls, I'm just selecting one every time. Is that the correct thing to be doing?
Yeah. I believe.
All right, I got a 7 out of 40.
All right, mark that down. That's an extreme. You should just be clicking your skills on your sheet.
Just like click that little radio button next to it.
No, like go to your sheet. You go to see your skills, and you just click one like that. Yeah. Oh, I got an extreme. Yeah, so I picked.
But yeah, so Rod, you go out and begin looking for Chipper's family, and you walk by and you notice Elizabeth, your cab fare from earlier, standing there with another group of people. And as you walk by, you notice her as well, and see Chipper's family kind of off a little ways behind that.
I'll kind of nod my head toward her and be like, "Hey, Miss Dreary, right?"
I'm gonna do a listen check so you can see if I heard him.
Fair enough.
Nope, I didn't even hear him.
Okay.
Too much going on.
and I'll say, maybe not, and I'll keep walking towards Vonnie.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you begin walking over towards Bonnie, and you see her and the family. And she looks over and sees you and says, "Oh, Rob, hello. Is Chipper coming up soon?"
Oh yeah, I think they're getting ready to send him up pretty soon. I'm just getting ready to watch myself. I thought I'd come keep you guys company. And I see if I can flag down someone selling popcorn, and I take a seat and try to get some popcorn ready for.
Okay. Yeah, you see that there are vendors walking around. They have like popcorn, cotton candy, lemonade. So,
whatever the kids want, like within reason. I'm on a limited budget, but yeah, like whatever the kids want, I'm trying to like make them happy.
Okay. And Ezra kind of looks around and says, "Popcorn sounds good." And says, "Uncle Rob, popcorn, is that okay?"
Oh yeah, little buddy, whatever you want. And I'm already holding my hand up trying to flag down one of the popcorn vendors.
Okay. And she comes over and hands you a thing of popcorn.
Yeah, I thank her, and I hand it straight on over to Ezra.
And he immediately just digs into it.
That's my boy.
And you see in the back, Bill Darby's still talking to Chipper, saying, "All right, it's about time. So, you ready to go?"
All right. So, Logan pork chop. I give him, pound head. I walk in and I look at the crowd and I salute them and I smile and I look at my wife and I give her a wink and I love you. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Great to be back here. Wonderful circus. I'm Chipper. I am world famous strongman, and it's wonderful that you all decided to spend the night here with me in this whole circus. You know, I grew up here. These people, they're my family, and when they asked me, Chipper, do you want to, do a show for us? Since I live in town, absolutely. Where would I rather be than right here and right now? So, ladies and gentlemen, I got a special treat for all of you. I'm going to do a trick and a skill that I haven't done in a few years. So bear with me if I'm a little rusty on some of the finer details. In the bear, and I motion towards the curtain.
I see what I did there. He said, bear with me.
Yeah. Actually, I did not think of that, but thanks.
Bear with me.
I wasn't trying to do. But thanks.
And Pork Chop comes out.
I give him the command, timidity, like scary.
And you see him like kind of hop up on his hind legs and like kind of, in your face, like roaring, like the saliva kind of coming down his lip a little bit. And then
I'm gonna make an acting roll to see if. Yeah, okay. I'm more called for the spit than anything.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, God, come on, Pork Chop. Do better than this, buddy. All right. Come here. Walk up. Ladies and gentlemen, do not try this at home. Especially you in the third row. And I look at myself. And I stop for a minute. And I just take it in as he's gasped. All right.
Oh yeah.
So whatever you
Ezra's
do,
eyes this whole time are just wide and just unblinking and unmoving from you and the bear.
So as immediately as I put my arm up, I grab the bear in a headlock.
Okay. And the bear like goes into it, and you see him like kind of moving his arms around and like.
And I'm really trying to sell it, so I'm like pausing, grabbing my bad knee, might be freaking out my wife a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm like grabbing, we're all wrestling, I whispered to Pork Chop saying, come on. And I let go, and I push him.
And he falls down and onto his back and like lays there for a second.
I get on my good leg, and I do a little twirl, and I embrace the crowd, I milk it for all it's worth.
And the crowd is just erupting. They thought you were about to be mauled by this bear.
All right.
And Pork Chop kind of gets up and like just sits down next to you.
All right. Round two. Get up, bear. All right. Come on, lock up again.
Okay.
All right. I told him, chew. And I point to my arm a little bit.
And he like lightly starts like chewing on your arm.
I sell it for the best. I don't know if you want me to make another. I'm selling it. Okay, there we go.
And like as you do you just hear like a gasp from the crowd.
All right, I say release, and I get behind him.
Okay.
And I put my arms around him. All right. So then I say, I grab my arm, I start patting my arm, try to tighten it up. I say, ready? Flop. 1, 2, and I say flop, and I try to suplex.
Okay. Yeah, and he like leans into it and like works with it and does it.
So as he's on the ground, before I get up, I say,
it's just like a very loud like as he falls onto the ground.
Should I make a strength roll?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Sorry. There we go. So I get good height.
Yeah. It's like a standing suplex. You have him like elevated for, a solid like 2 seconds.
Yep. All right. When he's on the ground, I say tackle. I want to say charge. All right, I say, well, ladies and gentlemen, so when he's on the ground, I say, charge.
Oh.
And I get into position. I'm looking like I'm trying to trick them into thinking that the bear's gone crazy.
Okay.
All right, so it's like, ladies and gentlemen, and then the bear tackles.
Okay. Yeah, and as you do, like, Porkchop jumps back up and begins, like, kind of, charging towards you. It's nothing that you two haven't done before in a routine, so you kind of know, like, what to expect, force-wise, and can brace for it accordingly.
All right, so yeah, I just take it, and I hold his head up, and I'm imagining that he's playfully, I'm trying to come with the other hand, as if one giant goof, lift him up, his head up, and I get him on his belly.
Okay.
And I playfully chop him on the chest a few times, playfully, and I say up, and I'm gonna do something really stupid. I'm gonna try to get him on my shoulders.
Oh god. Okay. Roll another strength check.
Oh god, this is gonna suck. There we go.
Okay, 43.
So like for a second, I get him up and I just like fire him and drop him playfully.
Okay, yeah, and he goes down, and you hear the thud, but, he kind of moves like a little bit after impact, and you know that he's alright.
But I say, alright, I say cower.
Okay, and he does.
Then, pointing to the crowd, I extend my hand for friendship.
Okay.
And we shake,
and
we both...
and as you do, you hear a voice from, like, the far side of the tent scream, "Fire! Fire!" And the smell of smoke begins to hit all of your noses.
I say, push up, run, go.
I'm grabbing Vonnie and Ezra, and I'm pushing them out of the tent.
Okay. And the crowd is, like, up and almost stampeding as somebody shouts out, "Fire."
Can I make I don't know what roll? I just yell, "Everybody calm down, please."
Do you,
Big though.
what's that?
Sorry.
What are you saying? I don't know. Would it be charm? I'm charming.
Charm, yeah.
I think there would be more.
Or intimidate? I can do intimidate too.
Intimidate would probably be more.
Persuade?
I
I suck.
Yeah.
I know you should probably have a penalty die for this because.
Fine. Just. I'm not trying to, like, alright.
So yeah,
No one wants to do that.
so yeah, we'll say persuade.
I failed, so I wouldn't need it anyway.
Okay. So yeah, the crowd at this point is just like a mad mob, almost like trying to get out of the one exit of this large circus tent.
Is the fire big? Like, do I see the fire?
Roll spot hidden.
Because we could try to put it out. Spot hidden?
Yes.
Fuck.
It's hard to tell with like the commotion going on. You don't really know like where the fire is. You just know that somebody's shouted fire.
I am not leaving till all my brothers. I make sure Sarah's okay. Like people, animals.
Okay.
This isn't
I'd like to see. I'd like to see if there's any like loose flaps of tent or anything that I could try and like spot and get Vonnie and Ezra out of here quicker than like waiting for the mass of people.
Okay. Roll spot hidden.
There we go.
Okay. So you do see that at certain sections of the tent, there is like a spot that's like split from the ground up. It's probably like a 4 or 5 foot split up the side of the tent, and it is tied together with like thick nylon cordage.
Yeah, I would like to see if I could maybe try to like untie it or rip it apart or something and get it open enough to get Vonnie and Ezra out of here.
Okay. Roll survival for me. Or or is survival in here? Am I thinking of D&D? I'm sorry, I think I'm thinking of D&D, aren't I?
No, there's survival on here, I believe. No, there isn't. I was wrong.
I think that would just... Because he's just trying to rip it apart, right? So it'd just be strength.
Or dex if you're
that's
trying to
true.
untie it.
Yeah, I was thinking more for
Dex.
like the untying portion. But yeah,
Yeah, that would be sleight of hand.
okay.
It-
So yeah, either roll strength to like rip it open or sleight of hand to like untie it.
Okay, just trying to find those skills on my sheet. Sorry, I'm so used to
that's
D&D,
fine.
so
Yeah, that's totally fine.
just give me a second. I see sleight of hand. I don't see strength. What section is strength in?
It's up top, one of the main core skills.
Oh, right, one of those core ones. Okay, yeah. I'll try and rip it open. Yeah, we're panicking. I'm just trying to rip this to flip open.
Okay.
There we go.
13. Okay. So yeah,
Wait,
use.
did you just roll up for size?
Oh no!
Oh yeah, the size.
I did.
Size is
I
different
did.
from strength.
It's not going to quite cut it. I'll roll strength. My bad.
Oh.
So you go to like rip the tent flap open, but the cord is it's too strong. It's very thick. It's about like as thick as your pinky.
Can I look for an alternate route out as well?
Sure. Roll spot hidden.
I don't want to get in a mess of people.
I can do
Oh,
a help
okay.
action.
Okay. So looking around to find like another way out, you notice two shadows like dart into the freak show tent from like your perspective.
I don't know if Henry or Ida are next to me anymore, but if they are, I'll tap them on the shoulder and point towards that direction.
I would be sitting by you.
Yeah, okay, that's what I do.
Yeah.
There's
sure.
exit over there.
Henry, you're still with them as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
While they're doing that, I'm getting all the circus people out.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking for Sarah.
Right.
Is everyone, are the animal? I'm trying to get like, is this I'm trying to assess the situation. Is this like a big fire? Because we try to put it out with the.
So roll spot hidden again to try and spot the fire.
There we go.
Okay. So from your perspective, you can see that the fire is emanating from one of the porta potties, like near the back office area.
Gross.
So what you're saying is that we're not really.
Well, no, the tent is not burning down at the moment.
All right. I motioned to the animal trainer, Ricky. It's like, Ricky, get the elephant. Stop.
Okay. Yeah, and he complies. I'm gonna hop back to Elizabeth and Ida and Henry.
Sorry.
So the three of you are investigating the shadows that went into the freak show tent.
It.
Okay. So if you're
I think
being,
it's an exit, so that's why I'm going over there.
what's that?
I think it's an exit, so that's where I'm going. That's
Okay.
why I'm going over there. I'm not doing it to investigate.
Alright, so you like make your way to the freak show tent, and you do see that it's almost like a big L-shaped, and the entrance like in from the circus area, it circles around and comes out like into the main midway area, bypassing, the large crowd of people trying to get out.
Okay.
Of note, as you are going through that area, you see that there are two figures at the tank for the fish point, and you hear a very loud, like, metal on metal clanking sound, and it seems like they're trying to maybe break the lock that's currently on the tank.
I wanna watch them without thinking.
Okay, roll stealth.
Yeah. I'm not good at that.
As you walk through, they hear your footsteps and stop like mid torque on the lock and turn around and notice you and instantly drop the crowbar and run out the door.
I walk over and grab the crowbar
Okay. And it
and
is
watch them run.
it's still warm from them handling it, and the outside of it is covered with like a clear mucusy sort of substance.
This is gross. And I hold up the
What is? What's on?
the crowbar.
Man, what's
I
on
just
that?
hold it up to her.
Okay.
I'm gonna examine it. I don't want to touch it, but I will examine it.
Okay. So yeah, roll spot hidden.
Spot hidden. Fail.
You see like a wet-looking substance on it, but you don't really know like what it would be. As you're looking at this crowbar, you are right up against the glass of the tank, and as you look over, you notice this human-fish hybrid, completely flat and pushed up against the tank, just staring at you as you're like examining this crowbar. The eyes look very large and sad.
I go over and put my hand on the tank.
Okay. And as you do, like, it moves its hand, like, with yours, like, open hand, like, on open hand. And you see it
I
kind of,
want to
like,
adopt.
and you see it kind of, like, push up on the top of, like, grate that's covering the tank.
I go over and move it.
It is locked in place.
Hmm.
That was
Looks like
what the two figures were trying to do. It seemed like was break the lock on the metal grate covering the tank.
looks towards crowbar, looks towards the other two,
Okay.
and then looks towards the lock.
Okay.
What do you think you're doing?
Something.
I'm just gonna back away.
I'm gonna break the lock.
Okay. So roll a strength.
Please allow me. Please. Dice gods. Yes.
Ooh,
Okay. So Elizabeth begins like kind of backing up, and you like go for like the full-on like baseball swing at the lock, and strike it with the crowbar, and you can see one of the metal like U-shaped pieces like breaks off. And around this time, as Elizabeth is backing up, you hear, "What do you think you're all doing here?"
I was just trying to get away. Someone said there was a fire.
And turning around, you see Lucius O'Dim, the owner of the freak show, standing in the tent, arms folded, foot tapping. He says, I guess we have you to thank for all of this disturbance, don't we? Sneaking around in the shadows. Who put you up to this? How much are they paying you?
I just
I
said,
got the wrong idea, mister.
And he says, yes. Well, we'll see about that, won't we? Come with me. I've already called the police.
oh no.
hurry and take out the fish skin. And runs.
You're gonna take out the fish kid and run?
Yes.
Oh god.
Okay, roll sleight of hand for me.
Okay. Please, dice gods, be nice.
Oh no. The dice
So-
gods are cruel. They're vicious, even.
So you go to grab the fish boy, but he's just covered in like the same like thin, slippery mucus that you found on the crowbar, and just slips out of your hands as you grab him. And Odin like reaches over and like grabs you by the back of the shirt and looks at Ida and Henry and says, I think you should come with me unless you want this to escalate further.
I said anything about escalate.
Where are we going?
And you see him like walk over and pull out a padlock from his pocket and pull out the broken one and click, put another new padlock on it and rearrange all the numbers on it.
So, I have a question.
Yes.
While I'm outside putting out a fire with an elephant. Do I see any of this? Do I see?
Roll spot hidden.
Because I'm assuming like I'm like, you know, okay.
Yeah, I would say that you catch some of it. Like, you don't really gather, like, all of the context, but you see Odin essentially, like, grabbing one of the customers and talking to the other two very sternly and trying to drag them back to Bill Darby's office.
More importantly, is the fire out?
Give me a luck roll. Or, you know, just, like, roll for luck. See if...
My luck is terrible, so let's see. Holy crap!
Hey, that's pretty good. Yes.
Okay.
The elephant quickly makes small work of the fire. It wasn't very large, and it didn't have a chance to spread to the other surrounding, like, porta potties.
I yell to the crowd, "We're good, everybody. The fire's out. Relax." And I have the elephant like do a trumpet, like. Whoop.
When Chipper makes that announcement, I want to grab Bonnie by the shoulders and say, "Bonnie, you got Ezra, right?"
And she says, yes, and looks down, and Ezra's holding her hand.
And I'm just like, all right, I gotta go somewhere. I'll be back to check on you soon. And I run off towards the Creek Zoo.
And, like, as you run off, you hear her shout, "Find Chipper!" as you, like, run.
All right, so
I will do that.
So I see Odin. As much as I hate him, or don't like him, or don't know him, he's technically family, since everyone in the circus is family. So I go over there and I say, Odin, is everything? Do you need some help?
And he says, "Not currently, no. I did a few minutes ago. You could have helped me escort these ruffians to Bill's office."
I'm not a ruffian. I'm innocent. I didn't do it.
I look at him and I say, I mean, I could take the guy. You don't think these girls? And I just like was like, wait, did these guys? Wait, I take a minute to think. Did I do the fire? Did you guys ruin my act?
No, we were watching.
Yeah,
Thank-
you were in the crowd.
Can I make can I see if they're lying? Make a psychology roll?
Yeah, go.
Can I just do a charm as a
Well, you do that too.
Yeah, that's fine.
There we go.
Ooh.
Oh, he still wins because he got a 16 to my 34.
Yeah.
So were they in the crowd?
Yes, they were in the crowd.
I look at Odin and I say, "These aren't your people. These aren't your guys, man."
And he says, "Well, they were the only ones there. They were trying to break out the fish boy."
Sir, there were two
Whoa,
other
whoa,
people.
whoa, 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 lady.
And he says,
You're
"I
very
saw you
okay.
with the crowbar, young lady."
I never touched their crowbar. That's
So
you see that crowbar? It is disgusting.
while they're talking, I'm looking at the fish boy. That's a child I see.
I also show him my gloved hands being completely clean, so there's no possible way I would have touched that.
I'm ignoring them. I'm just going up to the kid. And my fatherly instinct's kicking in.
And he crosses his arms and says, "It may be a child, but it's mine. I paid for it.
You can't own a
still a
child.
It's
I
not a
look at-
human. It has no
I
rights
make
in
it-
this world."
Can I make an
It's not
intimidation roll?
human.
Can I make an intimidation roll?
I don't even know what's going on.
Sure.
I'm sorry. I fucking failed. I'm freaked out right now.
Can I do intimidation? Just kidding, I can't. This is a 15.
I say, look, Odin. Look. Well, how about you three just accompany us? As for the child feature, you and I will talk about it.
And he says, "There's nothing to talk about."
Yeah, I think there's. Look at him. You really don't think I have more pull in here than you do? This is a threat.
And he crosses his arms and says, "I haven't been absent for the last 10 years."
First off, it hasn't been 10 years. It's only been 6 years. And I show up eventually. But here's the thing. I have gained more goodwill being gone 3 years or 6 years old than you've gained in 6 months. You saw the ways these people looked at me. I whispered in his ear, I'm Jesus come again to these people. You really think they'll betray me? Do you think people will betray Jesus?
And she says, oh, well, maybe Bill can bring you back as a starring attraction, and I'll just take my act and, find another circus.
You
See
really
what he
don't
has
think...
to say about that.
Yeah, we will say we will about this. Now, I'll escort these specs to the office. You take your child zoo, and we'll talk later.
I don't understand.
Because you were lady. As much as I don't like O'Dim, you are the only suspect. It is what it is. Look,
He's just breaking out the child.
Are you just
I
gonna
would motion these.
Ran
I
off?
would just motion them to come on, just don't make a scene out of it.
You're trying to tame me. Why would I not make a scene out of this?
I'm gonna make a charm roll. I say, listen. And I put my arm on her. I was like, I'm not trying to do anything wrong here. I'm just trying to fall.
Charm, let's do this.
Yeah, let's go.
Alright. Ooh.
He still wins.
I remember tonight, guys. And I say, come on, let's just. You and I like your British accent. My wife is British. Come on, let's. Everybody here, come on, let's. So you ever been to London? And I put my arm around her.
And you begin
Me being an 18-year-old, she's just gonna look around and be like, what the heck is going on?
Come on, let's go. You two.
I'm an 18-year-old too, so it's like I'm just a kid, just trying to figure out what the fuck's going on.
I thought you were like 20. I saw.
No, my character's 19.
Oh yeah, I would not put my arm around you. No. Ooh. No. I was like, come on.
He begins corralling all of you towards the main office area. And as you enter...
tells people that she's in her 20s, but she's not.
And as you enter the main office area, you see Bill Darby sitting behind the desk, and Chipper walks in with this entourage of all of you, and she says, Chipper, what's this?
Well,
what's going on here?
As a parent, first off, you and I have to talk about something later after we get all this mess thrown up.
He says, yes, of course.
Apparently, there was a fire that kind of ruined my great performance. I'm trying to roll my own.
He says, yes,
and apparently,
I'm aware.
Of course you are. Right? So anyway, these three were found by the fish boy tank, which we will talk about. Apparently they were trying to get at least one of them was trying to get the kid out. I'm still not sure.
Me.
All right. Okay, so this one, I kind of give a response. Well, at least she admits it. Well, it's trying to be diplomatic here. At least she's honest, and honesty should be praised. But so this one tried to get the fish boy. Why were you guys even there? Did you guys set the fire?
No.
No, why would they set a fire?
We were in the crowd.
And Bill Darby kind of puts his hand up and says, Chipper, one second, let me ask a few questions here. And looks at all of you and says, is any of this true? Did you set a fire to break out this attraction?
No, I was just trying to run away because someone said there was a fire and I was scared. So I ran into the freak show tent, and then I saw two guys trying to break the fish out. So I wanted to see what they were doing, and they ran off.
Roll a persuasion for me.
Okay.
Oh shit!
Oh dang!
And he kind of stops you and says, 2 men, you say. Did they have...
I didn't really see them very well, but...
Did the figures happen to have a fedora and trench coat?
I didn't get a good look at them.
I mean, the crowbar was all sticky with stuff. None of my hands that are still covering it.
And he says, I may know who's behind this, and it wasn't you. And he says,
Thank you.
Chipper, they're okay. They're not the ones that did this.
Oh, okay, Odim. That good for you?
And Odim says, I suppose. I'm still not very pleased that they tried to break out my attraction, though.
The child,
It's
yes.
a child.
I would put my hand up.
It's an attraction to be
It's a
marketed
child.
and sold to consumers.
You know what? I want to buy your attraction then.
All right,
I'll
no,
buy
all
you
right.
new
I take the little. I took. All right, you three just go. Well, on some autographs. Let's go wait outside.
Just to jump in real quick, Keeper, after I left Vonnie, I did run off to the Keeper or the Freak Zoo. At what point would I have gotten there?
Coming back from making sure Bonnie was safe.
Bonnie, yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I left
yeah.
her and Ezra, and I ran off the Freak Zoo.
I would say that you're probably entering like right about now. In fact, probably probably like a little bit before. Probably like right around when Bill realized that the three people weren't responsible for setting the fire.
Would I have potentially seen Chipper outside, like while they were on their way to the office?
Roll a spot hidden for me.
Can we argue that he would have advantage because of my side? Or bonus guy? I'm kind of hard to miss.
Okay, yeah, I'll let it roll.
So do I bump up number of rolls to 2? Is that how advantage works?
Yeah.
Nope. Okay.
Oh no.
So yeah, I just make my way to the Freak Zoo then.
Okay.
Yikes.
So yeah, you would know that probably to like reconvene with Chipper, you'd have to go backstage, so you'd be making your way back there anyways. And walk in on this conversation. Odim kind of being standoffish.
I specifically wanted to go to the Freak Zoo. There's a very specific purpose I have in mind.
Oh, okay. Alright, so then you make your way to the freak show.
Yeah, basically I want to find that pointy stick and either hide it or destroy it.
The pointy stick? Okay. Roll a spot hidden.
Woof!
You can't find it.
Alright, cool. And
Odim
then
might have it on
I have
him
it.
or stashed away somewhere.
Okay. At that point, I would go looking for Chipper to let him know that Vonnie wants him.
Okay. Yeah, so you go back to the backstage area, and you see this kind of standoff. You see Odim, like, off, kind of over by himself. Very closed off looking, his arms folded. Bill and Chipper and these three people literally
arguing.
Yeah,
Sorry.
exactly. No,
As I walk in, I'll look at Chipper. I'm like, "Hey, pal, what's going on over here?"
Headache. So these three, and I point to them, they saw two people set up, trying to break the fish boy out. And this one, and I point to the redhead, she tried to break the fish boy out. And then Dim caught them, and how was your night?
Well, it was going great until the fight broke out. I just came to tell you Vonnie's looking for you.
Oh, fuck. I say fuck. I say,
And Bill tells
I'll be
you.
right back.
And Bill tells you, if you're gonna leave, you're gonna come back, right?
Me?
I need you, Chip. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I just gotta check my wife real quick.
And he says, okay, good. And
Absolutely.
he kind of looks over at Odim and says, Lucius, I think our business here is concluded. I think we've deciphered that these three aren't the cause of all this, so go ahead and head back and make sure everything's in order on your end, and I'll finish up here. And Lucius kind of looks around at all of you, with a very, like, distrusting look, and says, yes, fine. It's about time that I get back.
While he walks away, I put my arm on, and I say, you need to back off, my friend. You get more friends in here with sugar than you do of honey, whatever the saying is. And I say, no, we're a family here. So I will have your back because you're family right now. But don't keep pushing your luck. I mean, about how much stress you're causing, how much pride. You know, we'll be famous or something about it. No.
Roll either persuasion or intimidate, depending on what it is you're trying.
I got nothing.
Okay. And Odem, just, like, not even looking at you, just kind of removes your hand off of him and says, don't touch me, and brushes off his shoulder and walks away.
Jackass.
And
I gotta go find my wife.
And as he does, Bill Darby is watching this entire time as he leaves, like, making sure that he's gone. You said that you're going off to find your wife, Chipper?
Yep. So I would have Ron and maybe Sarah with me if I can find.
Okay.
And I would kind of.
So yeah, as you're getting ready to do all of this, Bill tells you, I'll tell you what, let me speak to these three while you go and find your wife.
Yeah. Of course.
And, I assume Rob leads you back out to where he left her.
Yeah, absolutely.
And with the three of you, Bill kind of make sure that Darby or Odem is gone, and kind of looks around and says, "I'm terribly sorry about all of this. This usually doesn't happen."
I imagine not.
And he says, Odin, he gets a bit carried away when it comes to his things, as he calls them.
Things, you mean a child?
Yeah, I don't know what to call that. I don't know if it's a child or a fish, but I'm just...
And he says, nor do I. Odin has assured me that everything is fine and under control. But I don't trust that man as far as I could throw him. And he says, in fact, I tell you what, are you guys looking to make a little extra money?
What do you have in mind?
And he says, well, I'd be willing to pay the three of you a little bit to maybe keep an eye on Odin, see what it is he's up to. I have a bad feeling about him, and my gut is usually right, although at the moment he's single-handedly saving this circus, keeping us above water.
Sounds interesting.
And he says, we're in town for 3 to 4 more days, so...
I'm on it.
Let me go home and change out of these clothes, and I'll be back.
And he kind of looks around at all of you and says, so, we have a deal?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a job here anyways, so...
And he says,
Sorry, go ahead.
And he says, well, I figured $10 a day for your work would be fair.
That's a lot back then. That's...
You have a deal.
Sure.
And he says, very good, very good. Tell you what, we'll make you honored guests of the circus while we're in town. Show up tomorrow morning, and we can show you around and let you get acquainted with everyone.
Sounds good to me.
And he says, for the moment, just steer clear of Odin. I can only assume he's not going to be very happy that you'll be sticking around with us. So I'll have to smooth it over on his end, but don't worry about him.
Right.
There's nothing to worry about. Hi, my character doesn't like him.
And at that, we'll go ahead and end it for this session.
Okay.
Excellent. That was a great introductory session.
Yeah, roll